All right, welcome everybody. My name is Jeff. I am with IDX Broker. I'm in the sales department here. I've been here for a couple of years now. And we've also got Chad on the line who's with Agent Evolution.
Hello, good morning.
So what we're going to be going over on this webinar is equity, IDX Broker, and both of us into WordPress. Why choose WordPress, how it works, how it integrates together, and then kind of like how IDX Broker and Agent Evolution now work really well together. Chad, you got anything else to add on that?
Oh, sorry, no. So perfect. I think that's pretty much what we're going to cover. Once you show us all the great IDX stuff for WordPress, I'll jump on in and show what we've done to create with equity an interface that makes the marriage between IDX and WordPress even better, even more native and natural. So
Perfect.
I'm excited. Let's jump on in.
Excellent. So with my portion of it, so we're going to open up and I'm going to do a quick little screen share, kind of a little tutorial on how to get IDX Broker tools into the WordPress dashboard. Chad's going to cover kind of what equity and WordPress and IDX Broker kind of do together as far as their side of building things. And then we want to open it up for some Q&A towards the end. It is going to be a little bit shorter of a presentation. We had one person that was not able to join us today, but we definitely want to get some Q&A. Last time we had some really good questions come through. So I'm going to start my presentation here. Mine is going to be starting off with, come on now, getting started, adding IDX Broker to WordPress. This right here is going to be this is a sample of what it looks like to have an IDX page onto a website. By default, it's definitely not going to start this way. It's going to be an unwrapped page where it's not going to have any branding, anything like that. To get started with our solution, you're going to want to go to wordpress.org, and we're going to select the Plugins tab and search for IDX Broker. And once we do that, we're going to choose the IDX Broker plugin. This will be the page that you're going to have on wordpress.org. Download that current version and go into the plugin section of your dashboard, and we're going to download and install it. This is the back end of the WordPress dashboard. Once we do that install of the plugin, we're going to want to go to Settings and look for our IDX Broker tools. This is where we're going to go inside the actual IDX Broker dashboard of WordPress. It's kind of got its own little deal. Before we get too far, we have an API that is going to communicate all your data and everything from IDX Broker Control Panel, so all of your pages, your widgets, everything, your leads, capturing it is all going to be done through this API key. So this API key is going to be basically your communication between the two. Inside your IDX Broker dashboard, we're going to select the API control button. And here's going to pull up our key. You're going to want to go in and copy this. So highlight the entire string right there. It's better than copying it because it is very case sensitive. Highlight the whole key. We're going to right click it and copy it. Then we want to go back into our settings control tab for IDX Broker. We're going to enter the API key, create the plugin, and at that time it's going to start syncing everything over. But first things first, we want to create a dynamic wrapper page. This dynamic wrapper page is going to have it so that the IDX Broker pages will have the same look, feel, overall branding as your existing site that you have developed. Click the Create button to the right. Once you do this, it's going to spit out a dynamic page URL. We want to select and highlight this entire key, or this entire URL, sorry, copy it, and then we're going to go back into our IDX Broker dashboard. We're going to click on Designs and click on Wrappers. Inside this Wrappers Management page, we want to click on, make sure that it's going to be going to Dynamic and Global. Now this is going to, it should default to Dynamic and Global, but if you do happen to have a static wrapper, it will override the Dynamic URL wrapper. In the URL link below, you're going to want to right-click and paste that dynamic URL, save changes, and now this is going to be an advanced search page of an IDX broker, and it has absolutely no wrapper built. So by default, this is the way it's going to come to display on your website. What the wrapper is going to do is it's going to give all the stylization from the site that you currently have. Your navigation menu, your sidebar, your background images, everything as far as that goes. All the functionality is going to be there. Your pages will communicate with IDX broker, and IDX pages will communicate with yours. Once we do the wrapper, we're going to want to go in and add the IDX broker pages. So we're going to go to settings, back into IDX broker on the WordPress dashboard side, and we're going to go to the integrations tab, which is up towards the top. Once we're inside here, you can select which pages you would like to add. These are the system navigation links that's automatically there when you have your IDX broker account. So you're going to want to go in and select the pages that you want. So I'm going to grab just a couple of them, that way we can show examples. So address search, advanced search, basic, map, and home valuation. So we're going to throw those in there. Now you also have the custom pages that you develop. So your predefined searches for your neighborhood, any map pages, basically any predefined search. I've got one down there that says 2-mile radius in Eugene. So I pulled out just a small section just to be able to pull that in there. And then once we go into our Pages tab inside the WordPress dashboard, you'll see all of the pages are automatically pulled in. So the API key is going to pull all of those in for you. So here's our address, advanced, basic, home valuation, map search. And then it's even going to pull in the ones that we go in and create within the predefined searches. Everything's going to be there for us. Once those pages are in there, we're going to want to create, most likely, people put search pages inside the navigation menu. We'll go into appearances, into menus, and then from there, all of your pages are going to be on the left side. So I've already done that, so you're not going to be able to select these, but you'll go in and select the individual boxes. Once you add the specific pages that you would like to, we're going to click Add to Menu. It is going to drop them in straight in a line over here, really similar to the way that it is right now. What you can do is, this is going to be the order that is going to be displayed on your navigation menu. So for instance, this property search is just a link that I put in there. It's not linking to anywhere, but when you hover over it, it's going to display now advanced search, basic search, listing ID, and map search in that specific order. You'll also see right down here with your community pages, once those are selected, you can drop those in under the communities tab. Now you can rearrange these by simply grabbing them and then just moving them over. And here's how you put it in. Underneath the property search, you'll see that it's going to be indented just a little bit. The more indents that you have just means it's going to be like a slide off to the right and then drop down a little bit more. This is what it'll look like. So when you hover over the search, you'll have your search pages, address, advanced, listing ID, and map search. And then the next thing that we're going to want to do is grab our widgets. Now the widgets are going to be automatically pulled anytime that is put together. We're going to go back into the same location for appearance, and then we're going to click on widgets. And this is going to be all the widgets that are available in the left two columns. You've got two different ways of doing this. You can select on a widget. It'll choose which location you want to put it inside the header right, primary sidebar, slider, home left, depending on where it be. So you can choose where those are going. Or if you click on the arrow, it'll display it like this, and you can take and drag and drop from left over to the right where you want them to display. The example that I have is going to be a featured listings widget off of a slideshow. So you can name those widgets. So we got IDX featured slideshow, and this one here is down in the footer, I think footer 3 on this one. Can't remember correctly on that. So it's very simple to actually get those done. Everything is done basically via the API. Once you link that API, you can start pulling everything over directly for you. Excellent. That went a little quicker than I thought. I'm sorry about that, Chad.
Oh man, that was a breeze, but a lot of really good information there, and showed definitely how IDX through the WordPress plugin works great with WordPress. So let me show my screen here, and switch over to presentation mode. Hopefully everyone can see my screen.
Yeah, I think you're all good.
Perfect. Now, we've been using for years the IDX Broker plugin, and it's done a great job. But we thought, if we were to make a framework, make a theme framework that has native IDX Broker code in it, we could even go even farther. And so that's what we did with Equity. Equity is a WordPress framework, otherwise known as a parent theme. You install it like you do any other theme, but it doesn't provide any of the look or feel. You then have Equity child themes that give it the look and the feel. The great thing is you can customize that child theme all you want. You never change the Equity framework, because that way when we come out with new features, new functionality, which we have a lot planned for the remainder of 2015, you're just one click away and it upgrades. So what we did was we built in some great IDX features, and those are available regardless of the Equity child theme you use. So let's jump on in and show you some. First of all, widgets. Now, Jeff just showed you a bunch of IDX widgets, and those are still available. In fact, what you do when you install Equity is you also do exactly what Jeff said, install the IDX Broker plugin, and Equity actually looks and says, oh, IDX Broker plugin's activated with an API key there. Perfect. We're going to now show IDX Broker specific widgets. So you can use Equity without IDX Broker, no home search at all, or another one, but you really don't get the kind of optimization of functionality. Now, why we created widgets was we wanted to be able to put in native styling. We wanted the quick search to look exactly like how we wanted it to look. We wanted a lot of the other widgets to look perfect in our designs. And now you can go and you can style IDX Broker widgets, both within the theme or within, you can do quite a bit of styling within the middleware, but we wanted to make it a little bit just right out of the box for everybody. So we actually built in 7 different widgets, and let's just take a look at them. First one is the IDX Dashboard widget. This one's really straightforward. Literally, it looks up all of the widgets that you have in your account. You may, at some points, with some of these widgets, there may be absolutely no difference between using the IDX Broker plugin widgets or with Equity. But when in doubt, you can use the Equity one and know that things are just going to go real smooth with it. So this one being a map widget, I can drag and drop this in, throw this right on, say, a home page, and voila, people have a home search widget right on the home page. The IDX Property Showcase. And you'll notice when you're in the back end of WordPress, you're going to see a bunch of IDX widgets. The ones that say Equity-IDX, are the Equity native, and the ones that just say IDX are the ones that are coming from the IDX Broker plugin. Now with the Property Showcase, I give it a title. I can choose which properties to feature. Do I want to show image, use rows, how many per row, and then how many overall. So I'm saying here that I want to have 3 listings per row, so that's going to split them up 1/3 of the space, and I want to show 6, so 6 divided by 3, that means I'm going to have 2 rows of 3. I could keep going. I could have done 4, and of course you want your total number to be divisible by the rows so you have a nice clean interface. But now if you had maybe 12 listings that you wanted to showcase, you could do show 12 with 4 per row. You got 3 rows of 4. The difference is the images are going to get smaller the more you have per row. And then you can sort these. We are working on some new equity-specific functionality that's going to allow for saved searches to be able to be pulled in through these property showcase and another widget coming up. So right now, it's a little bit more tied to your listings and a great way to promote your listings, but we're very, very close to opening up to quite a bit more data within your IDX broker account. Property carousel. So I just showed you the showcase where, hey, I want this entire page. I want it to be static. I want to show 6 properties. What if instead you wanted to have it as just one row and have them animated and scrolling? That's the carousel. So showcase versus carousel. Carousel's moving. Think of a carousel at an amusement park. Almost the same thing. I can set whether it's autoplay or not, so I want it to automatically start scrolling across, or do I want it just to be stagnant until people click on the arrows? But there we are. I said 3 across. I'm going to show up to 15, and it's with autoplay on. As people are sitting on this page, on this home page, it would scroll across. Nice little way to show a lot of listings without overwhelming your home page per se. City links. This is actually one that we built. It's not even a lot of these widgets are rethinking of the stock IDX broker widgets in a way that we could output styling unique to each of our child themes. And then there's some that we just said, hey, this would be a cool idea. Let's create it. And City Links was actually the first IDX specific widget we ever created. And this was going back to our old original turnkey theme for Genesis dating back almost 2.5 years ago. And we keep improving on it and cleaning it up, making it better. But a great thing that you can do in IDX Broker, and why we always loved IDX Broker, is you can get in there and you can really fine-tune. And I use the word personalize because when I think of customize, I think someone's going to get in there and start adding code and things like that. Personalization to me is you go through and hit some check boxes and turn this on, turn this off, just by pushing a bunch of buttons and and dragging and dropping. That's a lot of and that goes for WordPress as well. So if you ever hear me talk about personalization versus customization, it's kind of the difference between think of a house. I can put paint in. I actually even put in my own laminate floors, but I'm not tearing down walls or building a new room on the back of the house. Personalization versus customization. Well, with IDX Broker, you can go in and create city lists. And the amazing thing with that is, as MLSs, I keep hearing about all these different MLSs that are joining forces with other MLSs and merging, and all of a sudden, you've got 300 cities in your MLS data, and you do business in 5, and you don't want to do any more business than the 5 because you don't want to drive all over your state. So you can actually create a list of just the cities that you focus on, and this widget here makes it so that they will display in a widget area. That could be great for your footer, for your sidebar, or in this case on the home page. And I actually told it I want 4 columns. So I could look at it, and again, it's a whole lot of very basic math. If I do business in 21 cities, I may choose to do 3 columns because that would give me 7 per column. Versus if it was 20, I could choose to go maybe 4 columns to get 5 per. It's just kind of a little playing around. Change the number, hit save, refresh your screen, and see, does that look good? IDX lead sign up. Another one that you can get straight out of the IDX Broker plugin, but this is one that's going to look really, really native and really good. Say you're using, all my examples today, I was using the must-see theme, our best-selling theme for equity. And there's the output right there. I threw it into a sidebar, and you've got a nice little way to get people to sign up, to get homes by email, to save searches. Once they're signed up, maybe we want to give them a way they can log in. Real simple. Give it a title, maybe a little bit of a blurb below it, and voila, we have an account login. Again, a great thing to throw into a sidebar or even to a footer widget area. The quick search. The quick search was really instrumental in our theme development because we had designs that we wanted a very short but wide horizontal orientation quick search. Must See has that. It's laid over a parallax image. It just doesn't look the same on a vertical stack. But Picture Perfect, it's more based on vertical. So we wanted to give a little bit more control on how we presented the quick search. And that's this quick search. And you'll see the orientation drop down, and the choices there would be vertical or horizontal. And you can turn off or on the advanced search and map search links. And that's what we get there. And now showing you the vertical stack. So some flexibility. And you could actually, if you are using interior sidebar, you could use this widget multiple places. On the home page, top on Must See, use it vertically, and then on a sidebar internally, do it, horizontal on the home page, vertical on the interior. Those are the widgets that we built into Equity, and like I said, we're doing a lot more to advance those widgets, make them more flexible, as well as we are now working with the IDX broker team, now that we are a division of IDX, to be able to get more and unique data capabilities through their API into Equity, and we're really excited to be sharing a lot of that stuff probably sometime next quarter. One other thing we did was wrappers. Now, wrappers, and Jeff talked about wrappers. He showed the difference, and he did a beautiful job of introducing me basically in my slide deck by showing pretty much everything, given a great foundation. He showed what an IDX search page looks like unskinned, unwrappered, just straight out of the box. And then he showed what a dynamic wrapper pulling from WordPress would look like. And now you can go into the IDX broker dashboard and you can create unique wrappers for multiple pages. Say you wanted to do a search page where you go into the map and draw a polygon of the borders of a very popular neighborhood you do business in, and then you're going to show, okay, show me all active properties, maybe townhouses. Maybe this is a Crossroads neighborhood townhouse page. But you want something before it. Now you can go into the IDX broker admin panel, or what they call the middleware, and create that wrapper. But you're probably much more comfortable with WordPress at this point. You know how to create pages. You know how to add text and format it, how to add photos, maybe slideshows, even embed video from YouTube. Well, what we did was we created an area called wrappers. If you want to be very technical, we created a custom post type. That's a big word you can use around the office. Everyone will think you're the most technical person in the brokerage. Basically, you'll see an area called wrappers, and you can create a wrapper, and all it does is allows you to make an unlimited number of wrappers to skin different pages of IDX. And it works just like any page or post in WordPress. So you see here, I give it a title. And then I can go into the media area here, or the content editor, and I can add pretty much anything I want. I can add photos, embed video, put links, text. Then I save this. It gives me the URL, and you'll see there in the permalink. You can actually even hit view post and copy and paste out of the URL. Then I go into the admin panel, the middleware, if you will, of IDX Broker, find, say, the saved search that I'm talking about, Crossroads, townhouses, and I can set the dynamic page wrapper by copying and pasting in that URL. And voila, you see here, I've got my title up top, Must See does kind of a background image there, and then I've got the text. This is a custom wrapper created for a specific community search results page in IDX Broker. I was very uncreative in making this slide, but imagine if you went out and did a really cool video of the neighborhood, or had some slides of different homes and the parks and landmarks in this community, and you did use a WordPress plugin to create the slideshow, maybe even just like Jetpack, which is a really great free plugin, you now have a really a more depth, more feel, more texture to this community page. So basically, in short, we created something that was already in IDX Broker, but we brought it over to an environment that you're very used to, which is your WordPress admin, your WordPress page editor. That's all I've got.
Excellent.
So,
looks like we got a couple of questions in here, Chad.
Perfect. Let's jump right on in. I'm not sure if I should change my screen or not, but let's answer some questions.
I stole it from you. So what I'm going to do here is we've got a question on here regarding what you just said, and this goes back to the carousel widget when you were talking about that. I could highlight homes for sale in a neighborhood using the polygon map. Yes, you can. I got into the dashboard here on our demo account. Very simple to do. So we're going to go Designs, Widgets, and Create. Inside here, we're going to choose what we want. Now keep in mind that this is only a platinum feature with the polygon tools. So we're going to go down to the carousel widget, properties to feature. This is the type of choose what we want, like a custom search, custom list, polygon, build and copy and paste, depending on what you want to be, but we want to do polygon for this particular question. We're going to scroll down to our map. And unfortunately, our map is here in Oregon. We want to scroll out to find some areas here.
The adventures of working with a demo account.
Yeah,
here we are.
You never know where you're going to go. So we're going to go down here. I think we're going to Miami.
With your own account, folks, you're not going to have to do this. We're just basically using a bunch of fictitious dummy content for our demos, and so it's a little bit thrown off. But of course, you're not going to be physically in the state of Oregon while you're selling in Miami, Florida. So you will not need to move all the way across the United States on the map.
So inside here, we've got two tools. We've got the polygon tool and the radius tool. Let's say, for instance, let's pretend like I'm really zoomed in here. We're going to go and select the different areas of this tiny little community that you want to pull in. Maybe it's a new subdivision, anything like that, where stuff has just gotten listed. Now you can make this in so many different shapes just by adding the individual points to it, and then you can always adjust things a lot later. Once you connect back to the original, it's going to show everything highlighted in green. Now this is going to be your main map that shows in the results page as well. So whatever elevation you have set, this is what it'll be. So if we go and zoom out, this would be the look of it, depending on where you want to be. We're going to scroll down, select the MLS. Got the demo data here. We want to do single family on this particular one. You can choose to separate it out, be it condos, townhomes, multifamily, rental, commercial, vacant lands. You can also add minimum, maximum price, beds, baths, and then how you want them to be displayed. Most commonly used is most expensive to least. Once we go down here, we're going to select in the widget options if we want to do a responsive, yes or no. And we're going to do the widget name. And sorting order. The width is going to be 100% because it is responsive. Now here's where we can choose how many columns we want. Chad went over this with his. You've got the option within the IDX Broker Control panel as well to choose how many you want to display. So if we choose 4 columns and then the arrow capacity, so it's going to kind of be on the two sides, the left and right side, to scroll left, scroll right. And then you also have the option to have the widget links in a new window. So when somebody clicks on one particular property that they want to find out more information about, it will open up in a new window. We're going to do now for now. We're going to build our widget. Here's our script code, and this is what I'll be pulling in, or we can go take a look at a preview. Hopefully this has I selected a good area, and it did. So here's going to be all the listings within here. This is the one I chose for it to be displayed as 4 wide. I got the opacity on the sidebars. You can take and scroll through here as long as many properties that there are. What else we got? Do we got anything else?
Oh, we have can we change the map from MapQuest to Google? Oh, that is a question for you, Jeff.
Unfortunately, no. IDX Broker is built solely with MapQuest. We do, however, have the option, which gets asked a lot, is what about Google Street View? The only option that you have with Google Street View inside of a details page is going to be through the new Walk Score, or not new, but the Walk Score app. Inside the details pages, let's make sure that we have a Walk Score enabled. Looks like we do. So inside Walk Score, once a map comes up and is generated, you will see up here where it says Street View, where you can click on that and it will change to Street View. So you do actually have Google Maps inside of the details pages, but not for the primary searching or the displaying with the results pages, anything like that. One thing new that we just found out is WalkScore just added, instead of just for transit, how long would it take to drive or anything like that, you can now do biking. So it kind of shows you the bike paths in the area of the house that you're looking to purchase. That was a great question, but yes, MapQuest is our current map. We got any other questions out there we can answer?
No, I think we're actually, we were so good that everyone is just, they're blown away by what we covered. And I think they're just ready to just jump off this webinar, get onto their computer, and do some killer stuff with their website. I mean, that's just the feeling I got right now.
Yeah, if looks like somebody might be time to create a new website. Take a look at agentevolution.com. They've got all the themes. How many you got now, Chad?
We got 5 themes. We got a 6.1 curb appeal that we're expecting out in the next about 2 weeks. We threw out a really cool new feature that pushed the release date off, but it was well worth it. What's the cost of equity and must-see? So equity is $99 for the framework, and must-see, or any of our child themes, are $49.99. If you buy them together, the shopping cart automatically discounts them to $129.99. So you get both of them as a bundled package for $130. And then with the equity, you get a year of updates. We've got some cool stuff coming on. Jeff and I are doing our twice monthly Impress Live podcast tonight at 5:30. And we're going to be bringing on the equity lead developer, Dave Bonds. We'll talk about a little bit what we got coming up with equity later this year that everyone with a current subscription will be one click away from getting when they're released.
Excellent. Got a question in here too. Is there a discount price on the IDX? So when you purchase through Agent Evolution, you're going to receive an email back within 2 minutes, I believe. It's going to actually get a sign-up form over to the IDX broker portion that will have that $99.99 setup fee waived. You will not have that setup fee for IDX broker when making a purchase through Agent Evolution.
Excellent. Yes. Within about 2 minutes, you get that great little discounted form. In reality, that makes equity and your child theme $30. I mean, seriously, that right there is the biggest bargain in the real estate WordPress world when you think about total cost of ownership being down to $30.
Excellent. All right. It looks like we've got our questions covered here.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And as usual, once we get this edited down and cleaned up, we'll have it on the idxbroker.com website.
Perfect. And we'll see what we can do about getting it on the IDX Broker blog, which is blog.idxbroker.com. And then also, Chad, I think you're going to try to put it up on yours, so it will be available in a couple of different locations for us.
Yeah, definitely. If I sound good in this, I'm definitely going to put it over at agentevolution.com blog.
All right. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Have a great afternoon.